Let's go. Good morning, everybody. It's your boy Scootaloo here. And I know this is going to seem weird, but you do know us ninjas are all multifaceted people. We do video games, we talk video games, we've talked anime before, we've done reactions, we do movie reviews, show reviews. Two of the ninjas have did even play reviews. So we're multifaceted people here. And me, I've done it before on this channel a year ago, actually a year and some days ago. Uh, and I want to do it again. Um, I'm going to bring y'all a wrestling video. And with it being a CCR, you're probably like, what Car Chronicle review could you do on wrestling? Well, the video I did last year was a review on Crown Jewel. And I'm going to bring y'all a quick CCR on Crown Jewel this year. And depending on how this video goes, I might do other CCRs with wrestling. We'll see. Like I said, we're all multifaceted people. But of course, if you want the real breakdowns and the real in-depth conversations, jump on over to Tag, which, myself, Lip Dizzle, Jaeger, Jugs will give the full breakdowns of everything. But I want to keep it simple on this side unless it starts to take off, and then, we can really get to it. But for the uninitiated, WWE or Wrestling Entertainment, they do usually an event or two in Saudi Arabia. I don't know how long that contract is still going, but this is now year 5, maybe, of them doing their 2 pay-per-views a year in Saudi Arabia. One is usually kind of in the beginning of the year, around like February. Usually one falls around this time of year. This one is called Crown Jewel. Uh, and of course, when they do overseas pay-per-views, we adhere to their time zone. So of course it came on at 11 o'clock in the morning, which was like, oh yeah, wrestling event, middle of the day. Yeah, I totally forgot. But here we are now. Overall, Crown Jewel was not a bad premium live event. They don't call them pay-per-views anymore. Premium live events, WWE words. Overall, it wasn't a bad event. You had some championship matches. You had some specialty matches, but I'm going to list them, give an overall thought. I don't want to spoil it, just in case people want to go. And if you do want to check it out, Peacock. For the people in America, let me say it that way. Peacock. Anywhere else, I think WWE Network still exists. But here in America, if you got Peacock, you got the WWE Hub, boom, all that stuff is still there. First match of the night, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Now, what I tend to say, or what the wrestling world tend to say, this was a Haas match, or as I like to say, a big beefy boy brawl. You had big meaty men slapping meat. Because Brock Lesnar is 6'5", 285. I think Bobby Lashley's like 6'4", 275. So there's some big boys in there. This match was a match. It had a unique finish, but I'm glad it started the show. Let me say that. I'm glad it started the show, because if it was later in the show, I think would have been a lot of disappointed people. Let's just say that. So I'm glad it started off the show, so that way they can get the BS out the way. And there you go. The next match for the WWE Women Tag Team Championships, you had Damage Control, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai versus Asuka and Alexa Bliss. It was a pretty good match. Kind of a slight predictable ending, but it was pretty good. Next match, you had Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre in a cage match. Another beefy boy brawl because some big men too. And it's always weird when you see guys that big inside that cage because they look like they could just go through it at any moment, especially when they throw each other into it. Um, but cage matches are always fun because in WWE, cage matches can either end by pinfall, submission, going through the door, not actually going through it, but the ref will open the door, you just walk out, or you go over the top, and whoever's feet hit the floor first wins. And that's actually how it ended. Somebody tried to go over the top, somebody tried to go through the door. You'll have to watch to see who won. The next match, they had the Judgment Day, which consists of Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley, but she wasn't involved in the match. Well, she wasn't an official participant in the match, versus the OC, which is AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. I could see why they had this match, but to be honest, this could have been on Monday Night Raw. Like, it didn't really need to be at a premium live event setting, but hey, they had it. It was okay. 6-man tag. Nothing too special about this. Now you had the next match. You had the biggest of beefy boy brawls because you had Braun Strowman, who was like 6'8". I think they said he's 6'8", 300 something pounds, muscle, versus Omos, who is 7'3" and 400 something pounds. And their beef was who was the monster of WWE, because Braun Strowman calls himself the monster of monsters. Omos is the Nigerian giant or the Nigerian nightmare. So they was trying to settle for who's the true monster of the WWE. And yeah, the third beefy boy brawl of the night. And I would say it was predictable as well of who was going to win that one. Then you get a little bit of excitement because you have the WWE WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Usos, who represent the Bloodline, versus the Brawling Brutes. How about that wrong name? Butch and Ridge Holland. The Usos have now been tag champions for 470 something days. They are approaching the record of the New Day, which is 483. And, this was a roadblock for them. And pretty good tag team match. You get the back and forth, you get the false finishes, which is, matches that could potentially end, but they don't because they kick out. It's not so much kicking out at 2, it's when the ref's hand is about to hit the match for 3, then you kick out because you get many of those. But if you see, actually, I don't want to spoil it, but solid tag team match, pretty good. Check it out. Then you get the Raw Women's Championship match, Bianca Belair versus Damage Control's Bayley. This was a last woman standing. Now, a last woman standing or a last man standing is usually tends to be one of the major grudge matches. That one of the major grudge matches that tends to happen when you want to end the feud. And basically, the rules of this one is you basically beat down your opponent enough to where they can't get up past the 10 count. And these two ladies showed out. They brawled in the ring. They brawled outside the ring. There was golf carts involved. Yes, golf carts. There was ladders involved. There was tables involved. There was chairs involved. I can't remember if kendo sticks were involved. Yeah, kendo sticks were involved. There I will say this. There were many times, I guess the way the ref counts the 10 seconds seems like a lot, but I guess what the way the ref, because the ref will go 1, 2. So you get a little, but some of those false finishes, like I discussed earlier, they was popping up at like 9, and I don't know if my body could do it. If you just slam me through something and expect for me to pop up at 9, yeah. Just say that, yeah. But this will probably be, if not match of the night for me, it may be match of the night because the main event is pretty good as well. But definitely check out Bianca Belair and Bayley, Last Woman Standing. Bray Wyatt, who recently returned a few weeks back, he had a little segment in the ring, a little promo. Then we get to the main event, the WWE Undisputed Unified. I think that's what they call. Whatever. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Yes, you heard me correctly. Logan Paul. You know, YouTube sensation, former boxer, podcaster, former troublemaker. That Logan Paul. Yeah, former troublemaker. He hasn't been making trouble since he's been. Oh well, he did have that Bad Bunny Puerto Rico thing. But yes, YouTuber, whatever how you want to label him, Logan Paul. Once again, that Logan Paul went against Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal World Championship of the Galaxy. Because there's so many names to that title. It's both belts. Yes. And this is Logan Paul's third match in the WWE and his third match this year. And he showed out. I mean, regardless if our purist wrestling fans don't like it, Logan Paul is not a bad wrestler. I've said it before on the tag channel, and I will say it in the Ninjas channel. Logan Paul, yes, once again, that Logan's Paul, big brother to Jake, even though Jake looks older. That Logan Paul is not a bad wrestler. He has the skills, he has the athleticism, he has the charisma. He's not a bad wrestler, and the ability to learn moves. Like the man can high fly, which is jumping off the top rope or doing things like that. He even hit a buckshot lariat, which I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all was like, well, what's a buckshot lariat? Research it. It's a pretty impressive move. But there was even a spot where Roman Reigns was laying on the announce table. He took his cell phone, he was recording himself, and to where the announce table is outside the ring, he jumped from the top rope inside the ring, all recording himself doing a splash to Roman Reigns. At one point, the rest of the bloodline, which consists of the Usos and other brother Solo Sikoa, shout out to Sami Zayn. He wasn't there, the honorary Us. Paul Heyman was there, right? Paul Heyman was there. And then even Jake Paul came out. Yeah, the Jake Paul who just defeated Anderson Silva. Jake Paul. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy to hear the Paul brothers. Yeah, but pretty decent match. Pretty good match. Like I said, if this is not my match of the night, it shares it with Bianca Belair and Bayley. After the match was over with, Logan did report that he had a torn meniscus. Torn meniscus, MCL, and ACL. So he went through it. He definitely, like, yes, he had the skills, but his body ain't built up to it yet. But yeah, definitely. Crown Jewel. A lot of the Saudi shows get a bad rep because it is in Saudi Arabia, and we're not going to go into all the details about Saudi Arabia, but they get bad reps, but they tend, but as of late, they've been putting on decent shows. And there was a comment somebody said that, granted, we know Saudi Arabia and what they do and what it's capable of, but at the time, those are wrestling fans. Not everybody is involved in the BS and the politics of it all. Those are wrestling fans at the end of the day, and those are human beings at the end of the day, and they all might not agree with everything that goes on. But definitely worth checking out if you're into wrestling, thinking about getting into wrestling. You know what I'm saying? If you're thinking about it, your boy Scooter Lou here can help y'all. You know, I've been watching wrestling now for that long. I'm 36, and I've been at least watching it since 10, maybe 9. So about 27 years, maybe 28. So I got another knowledge, and I can help you get off into it. But yeah, Crown Jewel as a whole, like I said, pretty decent premium live event. If you got Peacock and you feel a little interested in it, check it out. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay, I mean, I said like 27, 28 years. But definitely check it out. Like I said, if you have interest, or if you have a interest, or what's the word I'm looking for? A morbid curiosity to check it out. Peacock, WWE, Crown Jewel. You know, normally I would do this on the tag channel, but I'm gonna bring it here. This is too sweet right here. So I want to give a shout out to Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, and Jugs. Also want to give another shout out to the other two ninjas, Cosmic Boss and the Run You Miss. And thank you, Ninja Nation, for tuning in. I'll see y'all later.